The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Monday, the 13th day of February, 2023. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, and Lindos. I'm Jamel Hartman. She's Sencha Durham, and Tamara McHale will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sister Sencha, happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday. How are you? Did you watch Super Bowl last night?
Well, I'm glad you asked if I watched the Super Bowl because people talking about, oh, the Rihanna concert and this and the Super Bowl. That. I started off, and let me just start this show by saying I am so disappointed in Sancha.
What?
How dare Sancha not know about the Puppy Bowl? Sancha didn't know about the Puppy Bowl. She said, "What's the Puppy Bowl?"
I've always watched the Super Bowl. I have no clue about the Puppy Bowl. I told you, I'm not a dog person. I'm a paws person.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah. All right, understood. Well, I mean, I'm not a dog person, but the Puppy Bowl's cool. Like, it's the best thing happening. Did you still didn't get to watch a bit of it yesterday?
No, none of it.
Oh.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, well, hopefully somebody in the audience appreciates the Puppy Bowl. Good morning to you, Tanya Cheeseman. Puppy Bowl. But no, I watched the Super Bowl last night, and while it was a close game and it was exciting for the neutral, I wasn't tuned in like that. I was not. And I'll tell you why I weren't tuned in.
Why?
I've been saying since I was very young, before my mind was able to process a lot of stuff, that I always felt that sports were fixed. And when I was young, people would always say to me, oh, so act as if it's an actual script. Like, oh, so he's told to pass it and he scores. And I'm like, how stupid are you? Being fixed doesn't mean everything down to a T. Being fixed means that the end result is fixed. That's what I mean by it. And something just told me the way that game would go. And I'm telling you, it's like when I predicted Donald Trump would win, not by popular vote, but would win the Electoral College in 2016. And people always try to figure and I just, honestly, I felt that the game would come down to a decision that would be controversial and the Chiefs would win.
You had a crystal ball.
I just think differently when it comes to I don't trust systems enough to give us the best of everything. So yeah, I don't know, but what did you think? You enjoyed it?
So it's the only, when I used to live in New York, I lived in New York for quite a while. I used to follow football, and I used to watch games and all of that. Since which the only time I watch football is Super Bowl, because I like to cook Super Bowl food and I like to have time show. So randomly, I choose a team ahead of time. And for years, it's been whoever's playing against the Patriots. I do not like the
Yep, I'm with you.
And this year, I was like, well, who's playing yesterday morning? Well, who's playing? And then I chose Philadelphia, the Eagles. But soon as the Chiefs got on the field, I was like, oh, they are like a whole different energy. Maybe I should have chose the other team. But it was fun. Halftime show, see our sister Riri's with child. That makes me so happy.
Let me just say this, though. I thought it, but You all know we live in like an ice cream age. We live in a very politically correct age.
Uh-huh.
I'm actually very happy that she confirmed or through her reps confirmed she's pregnant because the amount of people that were commenting, I'm like, if she's not pregnant, you all gonna be fat shaming. You're gonna be this. We live in an age where you shouldn't, especially as a man, as men. No, 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 no,
But
no.
I think if you're a Rihanna fan, come on now, you know Rihanna is not going to go to perform for the Super Bowl with that. Like, she's
I'm
getting.
just
As soon
saying
as I saw it, I was like, Riri is pregnant.
the times we're living in. You all took risks, though. You took risks, but hey, good for her. And honestly, look, I enjoyed her performance. It was relaxed. It was a relaxed performance. It was not over the top, but certain people. And I know I'm a bit older now than many of the 20 and 30-year-olds, right?
Mhm.
But folks, stop it. Beyonce and Beehive, you could come for me all you want. Beyonce was awesome. But the best halftime show, hands down, just like everybody says Whitney was the best anthem, nothing would touch Michael Jackson. Not absolutely nothing will ever top Michael Jackson. I believe it was 1991. That was the best damn performance I've ever seen live, like on TV.
But I think you also have to know the artist that's performing. Like, Riri
Correct.
is not I've been to a Rihanna concert. She's not the most amazing performer. So, like, she's not a dancer. She's not. So, at the end of the day, she's with child. She's not a dancer. I think she
It
did
all.
a
She,
really good.
she was awesome. I think people got to stop comparing because at the end of the day, I think she was great. I think Beyonce was great. I think Prince was off the chain. He turned the place purple.
The only thing I missed was a collaboration. I wanted at least one person.
Nah, man, earn that, earn that. I don't own that. No, it would have been nice to see Jay-Z come out. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and I said this my way. I said one thing I'd like to happen before they both call it a day is an actual collaboration with Rihanna and Beyonce. That's my musical wish. A collaboration between them.
Not
No,
mine.
no, I'd love to see it. I'd love to. Hey, folks, we've got to get into the conversation, but it was an awesome show. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today. We're going to discuss what needs to be done to improve customer service in Bermuda before focusing on what non-traditional courses should be mandatory in our schools. So that's some interesting conversations today. The Daily Plate is a Who Said It. If you haven't already, you want to make sure you register to become a member of the TDH community. I think an email is going out today to the TDH community. Just fill out the application on our website, or you can hit the join button on our YouTube channel. We have a lot of rewarding things happening this month. You can shop with the expensive one over there or the cheap one over here. Yeah, we're doing
You'll never see my closet.
Huh?
So I say you've never seen my closet.
I see you every day. I mean, I'm just saying, one of us looks like gold, the other one, well, not even bronze. I'm just saying.
Like a $50 sweat top.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Anyway, this ain't about what I have on, folks. Yeah. So look, let's talk about it though. Let's talk about it. Well, let's go to the audience because Rosalind Famous says, "I'm with you, Sanja. I don't know what the puppy bull is either. You all should be ashamed of yourselves."
Thank you.
Yeah, I got to say this. Michelle White says, "I thought she was just carrying baby weight. I loved her classy performance." Imagine a brother saying that. You know what I'm saying? We can't say that, Sanja.
That Rihanna is not going to get on
I
stage.
just admit though, she is one fine sister, ain't she? She's a beautiful being.
It's beautiful.
That shot where they like first came on and she was just standing there looking up. I said, she is one beautiful.
Hold on, I thought you wasn't tuned in. That's what you tuned in?
I weren't tuned in. No, I watched the game, but I wasn't tuned into it. I didn't even see the end. Honestly, I didn't see the whole final fourth.
Yeah, I fell asleep.
Oh, wow. You fell asleep, Sandra?
I go sleep early, Jamal.
Earlier than me? My goodness.
When I can. I go sleep early. And I had a long day of racing yesterday. So
Okay, forgiven. Sherry Vanderpool, she says, great game and great halftime show. Well, I'm guessing Sherry didn't cook yesterday because the fire department, I ain't her number that. But anyway, let's get to the questions this morning, folks. We're talking about how can we improve customer service in Bermuda? Sandra, look, you have customer service businesses. Just a couple weeks ago or last week, a lot of noise was being made about an incident brought to the attention of the public via the MP Wayne Keynes talking about a taxi experience where a passenger needed transportation to, I guess, the hospital or something, and the cab driver won't let him in. Customer service. We've heard the interim chief of the BTA speak about customer service levels in the past through the Royal Gazette, at least. We hear people talking about customer service in Bermuda all the time, and I mean, I've lived in the U.S. half my life. Customer service is not the best anywhere I've lived. I mean, they say Paris was one of the #1 tourist destinations in the world, yet the French are some of the most horrible hosts. I don't know. I haven't been. I have no interest in going, actually. But my point is, sometimes it seems like we're scapegoating. We're looking to blame the people, like Bermudians, as a reason why we don't have tourists in Bermuda. Like, it's easy to point fingers and say, oh, customer service is the issue. These people will never go back to Bermuda because they had a bad experience. I tell you what, you will hear more great things about Bermuda and Bermudians than bad outside Bermuda. But I think this is a question for all of us to answer, because customer service isn't just the one who's working in that store. Customer service, Jody Virgil, for instance, when I was in Bermuda, I was going into Flying Colors to purchase some Bermuda trivia cards, by the way, at Flying Colors. But I was going in there during the holidays, and I saw Jody Virgil outside, her and her mom, and they were talking to a visitor. It was a bunch of visitors on a cruise at that time. And to me, that was customer service right there. Now, I was eavesdrop, just said, oh, you're not local, speaking to the lady. But I don't know what the entire conversation was about. But customer service is literally every Bermudian. And I'm not quite sure, you all may differ, challenge me, but I'm not quite sure that most people, or at least the majority, are gonna say they had a bad experience at one restaurant in Bermuda and I'm not going back, especially when they're paying an airline ticket, hotel, and everything else. One experience doesn't really define it all, right? If the rest of it's great, right? Or am I wrong?
I don't like that can stick out like a sore thumb. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, a lot of the times, depending on what your experience is,
Mm-hmm,
it can kind of overshadow
mm-hmm,
what if your experience is good but not great. You know
mm-hmm,
what I mean?
mm-hmm,
But I personally believe that in Bermuda, our customer service isn't what it used to be.
mm-hmm,
I'm not going to say it's horrible,
mm-hmm,
but I know that like my grandmother's era, and they were trained from young,
mm-hmm,
and they actually appreciated the tourists, and you know what, not even the tourists, just locals as well. I
mm-hmm,
think we kind of, as Bermudians, we treat foreigners very different than how we treat our fellow local it's a whole different vibe. I see it all the time. Do you ever get when you go away and Bermudians? I remember one time I was at this rental car place,
mm-hmm,
and this guy, we got off of the flight together, and he had bought trinkets for the agent, and we're such nice people to other people,
mm-hmm,
but not to our end. But then when it comes to, the brotherhood and the community, it's like sometimes it could be a little shaky.
mm-hmm,
But I think customer service on a whole in Bermuda, like it has shifted.
mm-hmm,
I think that businesses need to take more time in training,
mm-hmm,
because sometimes, and I've been guilty of it, sometimes you need somebody and you're putting somebody on the floor and you're expecting them to just kind of, you're forward facing,
mm-hmm,
I've given you ABC, these are the tools you need, you expect them to be on their game, but there definitely has to be a lot more training involved. And myself myself too, you know?
Yeah. And I definitely agree with you, Sancha. I think customer service from t- probably 10 years ago is very different today. And I think it shifted with the expectation. But I want to touch on Michelle White. She says, and the question, folks, is how can we improve customer service in Bermuda? Michelle White says, first, a campaign to understand that customer service is not servitude. Second, customers understand to respect the people that provide the service. Now, this she just explained both ways. Now, let's
Yeah.
address the first part. Dr. Ewart Brown mentioned, when he was the premier and tourism minister, one of his goals was to really get across that service is not servitude. Um, First off, every being on this earth, every living being who is able, we all provide a service. Regardless if you're customer facing or not, you provide a service. And so from that, understanding what service is, it's not servitude. Every morning we do this show, we're providing a service. We're facilitating conversations with an audience in hopes that we can find solutions to the issues of the day. That's a service. So I think definitely we need to understand that service is not servitude. We confuse that, right? The second part about it is that Michelle White mentions, customers understand to respect the people that provide the service. Yes, it goes both ways. We have not we cannot treat people who are, basically helping us. That's what people are doing. They're helping us when we're in a store and we're trying to purchase something. Let's be respectful to them. They're human beings. Airline people, taxi drivers, right? These are human beings. So yes, I agree with you, Michelle White. Folks, what are your thoughts? How can we improve customer service in Bermuda? What are your thoughts on how we can improve it? Because at the end of the day, reputation does mean something. Now, do I think it's the be all end all? No. But it's something to me that's an easy fix.
Yeah, I do think that when you go somewhere and the hospitality is like amazing, it's gonna make you feel welcomed. It's gonna make you feel, especially if you're on vacation, you want to relax. You want your every need to be taken care of. And like I said, I I feel back in the day, we headed more in that direction. Now, not so much.
What do you think's changed? What has changed? Why is it different? Is it because you have people saying, oh, that's because we live in a more liberal or liberated, however you want, world where people don't want to work, or they have, everything's what's changed? Why is it not like how it used to be? That's an interesting one.
Um, I don't know. It's a different generation of people. I think they or we see things differently.
Mhm.
Um, you know, like I said, my grandmother's era, they were trained from young. They were
Mhm.
taught certain levels of how do I say this? Certain levels of you respect certain things, and now we feel like we not we feel like we have more of a voice,
Yeah.
and we don't like something, we're not going to stand for it, and we kind of stand for ourselves.
Mhm.
um, we would probably take back to Michelle White, it goes both ways.
Mhm.
As a customer service back in the day, you probably would have taken the disrespect because it's part of your job and let management handle it. Nowadays, we're like, you didn't disrespect me, did you?
Mhm. No, 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 you're right.
Taking it into our own hands, right?
Folks, do you believe, yes or no to the audience, yes or no, do you believe Bermuda has a customer service issue? Yes or no? Do you believe Bermuda has a customer service issue? Ennis Luby says, customer service in Bermuda died in the 90s with the influx of the offshore insurance and exempt companies. This was also when tourism died. Been saying it for years, Ennis. I've been saying that for years, that that shift. I thought it was even sooner, like the 80s, but I would say that shift was huge. Michelle White Sanch.
We as individuals need a mindset shift that we all buy into. This means that the campaign shows both sides of the relationship, both shows positive and negative interaction and the impact or response.
Yeah, she goes on to say it has changed because we had seen our forefathers and mothers work hard and complain about how they were treated.
Yeah.
We now see the impact of not taking it. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
But then also look at customer service in Bermuda and how it's shifting.
Mm,
It's so many different nationalities, right? It's not really the Bermudians in, well, it depends on which sector.
mhm,
We're talking about our restaurants and I talked about this the other day. I like a good restaurant where I have a Bermudian server or waiter that I can actually have a conversation with, and we're talking about current events, and
mm.
we're having those conversations. It doesn't necessarily happen. I've had a few foreign waiters that have taken the time and interacted and had those conversations, but I think it goes a long way when you have people from the country and the culture to speak on the culture.
Yeah.
So
Mhm. Um, Folks, we asked, do you believe Bermuda has a customer service issue? Traveling Trotty says yes. Tanya Cheeseman said yes. Karen Simmons said yes. Michelle White said yes. Angeline Butler said yes. Nicole Walker said yes. Shikarina said yes. Well, I don't
yeah,
have.
lots of yeses, but I would like to hear, like, what is our issue?
Yeah, and how can we improve it? I'd love to hear how you believe we can improve it. And Karen Simmons says human respect and kindness is lacking, going both ways. And then Traveling Trotty said people are not even saying good morning, good afternoon. So, again, I've said this on this show, right? And I said this a couple years ago, Sencha, working in the US. I can never get used to people entering a room and not saying good morning or addressing people. And now I see myself really just matching energy. You know what I'm saying? So
Do that.
yeah, like I see myself going like no legit, like it's just so foreign to me. People coming into a space, like seriously, yeah, they're working, like you're not there. And I'm just like, and sometimes I'll be like, good morning. And then it's just like, well, don't even waste your time. This is who people are.
When I first moved to New York, right?
Mhm.
I used to go to school. I was in theater school, and I used to walk up 14th Street, off of the train, walk up 14th Street to go to my school. And I still had this young, innocent Bermudian mentality. And I'm walking, I'm like, good morning, good morning, good morning. And people would look at me like, what is wrong with her?
But yeah.
But you know what? To this day, I still do it
Mhm.
because I feel like it's a makeup of who we are as a Bermudian. And that's one of the things that
Yeah.
you look at it, you've kind of shifted and you're matching energy. And that's why our customer service is going in the direction that it's going. People are
Yeah.
matching energies.
Well, I mean, beast like New York was a beast. Like I think New York changed my entire personality. I mean, it's easy to say no, remain who you are, but when you're saying good morning, people are like, "What'd you say?" Like almost wanting to fight you. It's a different animal. But
Oh, girl, so that didn't
let's
happen.
go to these final few comments before we bring Tamara in. How can we improve customer service in Bermuda? Angeline Butler says, teach in schools that we should sell our island, and with that, hopefully, customer services and great. Well, that's coming up. The daily focus. We're actually going to focus on what courses should be mandatory in schools. Non-traditional courses should be mandatory. And interesting responses on our Instagram. Very interesting but consistent. But we'll get into it. Charles H. Jefferson II, Central.
I believe what has changed is basic lack of respect for each other as people and our differences. Society in general has become more me first without care and concern for others.
Rosalind Famous says a company's culture starts from the top. You can tell how poor the management is in a company by how the frontline workers operate. Shikarina says begin every interaction by thinking, what kind of experience would I want to have? Ines Luby says, using your show is a perfect example. You get 60 to 100 viewers each day, are enjoying your content, but people are not hitting the like button or giving super chats to support the work you do. I appreciate that comment, Ines. But it's true. It's absolutely true. And this is not us begging or asking, but it's people will appreciate you only so far. People will actually truly appreciate you only so far. Like, oh, we support you. but we're not going to give $1 to you because we don't appreciate you that much. But it's interesting, just that comment. I've never met Ines Levy, but I think I like this person. That's exactly, Jamal. I was just talking to my daughter about that yesterday. You enter the room, you speak. That is lacking nowadays. That's what I was taught, and that is what I taught my children. We've got Bernard Joinville says, adversity between employers and employees affects how employees approach their job, rightly or wrongly. Ines Libby says, manners is showing love and the simple things like this show and the work you do. Appreciate you. Ebony Souza says, continuous training, increased involvement from management bodies, honest responses, and positive action in response to bad reviews. Customer service is multi-tiered. And then Angeline Butler says, secret shoppers. Folks, we're going to continue. We've got to bring Tamara in for the news break. I want to say this. I've taken it upon myself to get more, I've been involved in every community I've ever lived in, whether it was Rhode Island when I was volunteering at the homeless shelter and a Big Brother in the Big Brothers program, or, coaching soccer in New Jersey. And in Florida, I just have not done it. I hadn't, I've just been so focused on building, this with the community that I share in Bermuda. But I attended the Black Chamber of Commerce, an event this weekend. And if you're on LinkedIn, you go check it out. But there are so many amazing Black people in business, right? But one thing that was said the other night, and it comes again tied to customer service, right? He's about to retire. A gentleman, he's a CEO or he's a top level position at one of the banks in this region, and he said that during his time, he contributed 38 point something million to Black businesses, right? Had he not been in that position, many Black businesses would not have gotten the opportunities that they received. Folks, if you were on my WhatsApp status, I shared this title of this book as well. If you see someone, small business, big business, Black business, that is doing a service that you enjoy and you're benefiting from, support them. Support them. Just support them. Because some businesses will only go as far as the people who truly support them. Some of these businesses offer services that are better than what you may pay for other places. But they need our support. And if they need some customer service training, and you know someone who offers that type of training, you've just helped 2 entrepreneurs. See what I did there? Let's bring in Tamara McHale. It's time for the Daily Hour news break. And she's going to help me learn some patois today as well. She didn't know it, but she knows now. All right, folks? Stick with us. We'll be talking about some non-traditional courses that should be mandatory in schools after the news break.
Good morning.
Well, good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
So
Interesting conversation.
Before you start, Sancha said something earlier and I want to respond. The 2 places I've received the best customer service, Jamaica, number 1, right? Because Jamaica's the first place I've been where in Bermuda, you've got the proper Negro. Take offense whether you like it or not, Bermudians, but it's this, you cannot be yourselves. You're supposed to speak a certain way. In Jamaica, yeah, man, welcome. It's them, they're themselves, right? They're not asked to speak the Queen's English. They're allowed to culturally be themselves. You can't do that in Bermuda. If you're at that front, I appreciated it. I felt like I am in their culture and they're embracing me with who they are. The other place was Mauritius, but I'm just going to say that's because we are staying in some, what is it, St. Regis? Is that like a 5-star or something hotel or something? But I mean, if you're paying that amount of money, you better be getting that level of service. But honestly, Jamaica, I will always say levels. It's just levels to it. And we weren't in a 5-star hotel. So
Jamal, do you think that you are just not up to understanding the Jamaican accent, and maybe it was like a slightly elevated. I'm sure it wasn't from. You know what I mean?
He has a book.
So before you get in the news break, you're gonna have to teach me some things, okay? All right.
Okay.
All right. So Sandra, Jamaican?
I try. It's not.
Okay.
I'm not gonna write it on my resume that.
All right. So reggae music's helped me understand this, right? So
Okay.
so it says DIYAH. Dia.
Dia. Medea.
Yeah.
That's what it says. It says Medea. And it says, I'm
Yeah.
here physically or I arrive. So
There.
oh Dea. Oh, sorry. See?
Dia.
Medea. So so tomorrow when you come to the news break, you're going like Medea. That's what you're gonna do. I said it right? I said it right?
This may be worse than the joke.
No, that's not how I say it. Okay.
I don't mean to be laughing, but you sound hilarious.
I'm trying to learn. See, this is why I can. My old colleague was trying to teach me Spanish down here in South Florida, and she would laugh because I would pronounce the H and I guess J. I don't know. I was pronounced stuff wrong. Okay, class is over for today. Let's get to the news break.
Jamal, that was hilarious.
Enough for me today, folks. My Jamaican first class in patois didn't go too well.
You sound like a real foreigner.
I am, I guess. So we're gonna get this done. All right, you're gonna teach me.
I will definitely teach you. You need a lot of lessons.
So you heard it here.
All right, good morning again, everyone. This is the Daily Hour News Break for today, Monday, February 13, brought to you by the People's Pharmacy. So Pembroke residents have complained about another apparent suit fallout from Belco on Saturday. At least one formal complaint was made to the energy firm, while several residents have posted comments and photographs on the Facebook group Bermuda Clean Air Coalition. And according to the Gazette, one resident, Catherine Pereira, who lives on Underhill Crescent off St. John's Road, wrote a formal complaint to Belco's Occupational Health, Safety and Environment team on Saturday. So the residents are pretty much upset, and this is not the first string of recent reports of emission from the plant.
Moving on. Honestly, I feel for the people.
In other news, this is an update to a story we had on Friday regarding the businessman Mariko Thomas, who had said that he was abandoning his plans for a new restaurant in St. George's, saying he had been blocked by the Department of Planning for far too long and he lost a lot of money. Well, Minister of Home Affairs Walter Roban on the weekend confirmed that Mr. Mariko Thomas has been formally advised of the planning approval for his restaurant, adding that they hope that the development can now move forward for the benefit of the community. So the ministry also said that the Ministry of Home Affairs is extremely supportive of local businesses and entrepreneurs, but they also know that the kind of property it is listed on the heritage site, and so it took a longer time period than what is the norm, according to the ministry.
Yeah, hopefully that saga's ended soon. Yeah.
Yes. And you guys had discussed it at the top of this show, but of course it was all about the Super Bowl yesterday in the US and right across the world for others, of course, who watch it. And many of us elsewhere, we just love the ads. Like me, I don't really watch the game. I just really love the ads and of course the halftime show. But did you know that a Bermudan and his wife had their singing talent showcased in a $7 million ad that aired during the match, during the Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl finals yesterday? So actually, Chris West and his wife, Denny Lavinka's voices can be heard during Paramount Plus's commercial featuring Sylvester Stallone. So Chris and Denny's blended voices can be heard at the 12-second mark, singing in unions, Stallone, and at the 59-second mark. So you can go to YouTube and type it in. It's gone on Paramount Plus YouTube channel and watch it.
All right. Well, do your
Yeah.
thing now.
Definitely. So Bermuda's there representing. And speaking of the Super Bowl, I'm moving quickly to some other regional stories. So in Barbados, of course, they were all cheering on Barbados superstar Rihanna, who you also mentioned, of course, gave the halftime performance and the big news out of that with her being pregnant. And that actually is on the headlines in Barbados today, that the billionaire makeup mogul and Grammy winner confirmed she is pregnant and expecting her second baby with ASAP Rocky. Rihanna, of course, welcomed a baby boy in May last year, and she's also a national hero, as we know, in Barbados.
You all know what this means.
What?
You all know what this means, right?
What does this mean?
No more music?
No new music for
I
another 10 years.
know.
Good for
I
her.
know.
Good
We
for
were
her.
expecting an album, but it's a totally different album in the works.
Okay. All right. Well, no tour. She ain't leaving the babies at home.
And we also, coming out of the Super Bowl, still cannot leave out the Jamaican Miss Shirley Ralph, the 66-year-old Emmy-winning award actress and singer, performed what is known as the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing, in the pregame show of the Super Bowl yesterday. And she gave a soaring rendition of the song to cheers from the crowd. Big her up.
Yeah, she was bad, man. And the thing is, a lot of people just saw her as an actor. Like, a lot of people were shocked, right? But man, she held it down.
Yeah, she can sing, because actually one of her first hits, many don't know, but because, well, I'm a Jamaican and I'm into stuff like that, even though I wasn't around, but was in when she acted in the original Dreamgirls before like the Beyonce era. Yeah. So she can actually really sing.
She's bad, man. And her daughter styled her. I learned that last night. Her daughter was on Twitter saying, I styled my mom. So she keeping it in family. I love that. I love that.
Definitely. Finally, it's all systems go for Trinidad Carnival, which begins today. So Carnival Monday and Tuesday is today and tomorrow in Trinidad. And according to Trinidad Guardian, all systems are in place for the mother of all carnivals, says Tourism and Culture Minister Randall Mitchell. And he says he expects a bumper season and a lot of visitors will be coming to Trinidad, including some very special guests.
You all made me take those pictures down real fast. I don't want Dr. Seaman talking about us next. Nope, I ain't going there. No, Daily Hour turned into, nope, I'm not messing with you, Dr. Seaman. Hope you're well today. Happy Monday to you, madam.
You know what? We should just go to Carnival next year and take pictures and show her.
No, maybe we should. Dr. Seaman too. But our resident DJ Rusty G is in the house playing out a few things down there. So props to everybody that's doing the thing down there. What's the weather looking like today? Give us something good.
Well, in Bermuda, a vigorous cold front is approaching from the west, bringing a spell of wet and windy weather into this afternoon with the odd rumble of thunder before conditions gradually improve from this evening, according to the Bermuda Weather Service. So it's kind of wet conditions. You can tell me what it is on the ground, Sancha. And here in Jamaica, they're saying that a cold front is expected to stall just west of the island, but before dissipating by tomorrow. But this morning, partly cloudy across some parishes, but it's mainly sunny elsewhere, including in Kingston, Jamaica.
Yeah, it was pretty cool down here as well. Like it was like 59 this morning when I went out, and I noticed something. Whenever it's cold and I'm in like shorts and sleeveless running out there, I tend to run longer. So I guess that's the positive for me. So the reason you run longer, obviously your butt is going to be warmer as you go. It's when you stop and you're freezing. So stay warm, folks, and stay dry in Bermuda. What you got for days of the year, Sanch?
Today is Galentine's Day. In an effort to make the most of female friendships instead of setting them aside when a romantic partner comes along, Galentine's Day was established. Galentine's Day allows for some balance, just to make sure that women pay attention to everyone they love, not just that romantic partner.
Nice. Happy Galentine's Day.
Thank you. You feel a certain way because you're being left out, Jamal?
Well, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
Oh, you are one of those folks.
Yeah. Hope your chocolates melt. You saw that thing I shared on WhatsApp. Hope all your chocolates melt and your flowers. No, hey, if it's your thing, do your thing. props to you all. Just don't forget
You're
when
romantic all year round. Is that your thing?
I
You know,
mean,
people say that.
I said it on Hot 107.5 back in 2008, right? I said, nah, I don't do Valentine. Oh, why? Because you ain't got nobody? I'm like, nah, because if I'm going to love somebody, I'm going to get them random flowers. I think random is better than on a day that's commercialized. That's just me. I'm not saying you can't, you shouldn't, but I'm a random guy. I think random love speaks volumes.
Okay, Jamel. As I go, can you just say, yeah, man?
Yeah, man.
You got one right.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Go ahead. No, not that one. Cheers. Yeah, thank you. Tomorrow, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
See that improvement I made, folks? Tomorrow, Mikhail, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to discuss what non-traditional courses should we include in our schools. Should be mandatory in our schools. This should be good, Sancha. What you thinking?
You know what?
All right, we'll be right back.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Sancha Durham, I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, if you haven't already, make sure you have registered to become a member of the TDH community. You do not want to miss some of the great things we have coming up. Shop with us, chill with us, make a difference in our community with us. Just hit the join button on YouTube if you don't want to fill out the application. Again, we have a lot of rewarding things coming up, and we don't want any of you to miss out. It's very simple. Just register. All right. I just wanted to go back to a comment that Charles had made earlier. He said, on a positive note, I just told Mickey Robinson, that's the owner of Medical House, yesterday about the great customer service at Medical House. You know, I went in there in December, and everybody had a smile on their face, like, hey, how you doing, whatever. And that right there made me feel different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not something that you experience in the US any store any day, right? So no, props to Medical House. And folks, if you've never been to Medical House, get there. And I say get there because Phil said it when we had our event there, and we may be having another one there very soon. Again, TDH community, we may be having another one there soon, like next week soon. Hit us up. But there are people who don't know what they have. And once they get there, they're like, dang, I got this, I got that, and da-da-da. Just go check it out. Medical House.
Can I say I go to Medical House all the time. I buy lots of stuff there for nail bar. And one time I had an experience. It wasn't bad. It was just like, not so good. When I tell you it was rectified, she was explaining exactly what should happen. And that's what we talk about, like good management,
Yes,
customer service, and making sure that like things are gonna happen.
But I absolutely love what you just did. Because no, seriously, folks, what Sancha basically just said is It's not going to be perfect, but when there is a problem, it's how you respond to it. It's how you respond to it. Thank you for that, Sandra. Thank you. That big brain of yours. All right, folks. Question. Look, we asked on our Instagram, what non-traditional courses should be mandatory in school? So non-traditional, we know the traditional courses are math and English, right? We know math and English are going to be taught, sciences and so on. But for years, and if you look at our Instagram, and everyone's talking about financial literacy, right? So let's go to our Instagram. So we asked the question, what non-traditional course should be mandatory in schools? And financial literacy, we have logic. Financial literacy again. We have understanding insurance. We have finance, such as learning to save. I don't know if I like that one. Black people still talking about saving, everyone else is investing, but okay. Financial literacy again. Budgeting. So everything seems to be, well, the majority around money, right? So what are your thoughts? What do you think? I mean, for me, I think we spoke about one earlier in the show, customer service, right? Customer service training. The thing that I learned recently, it was a question on LinkedIn, and it said, should sales be taught in school? And I said, because everything is sales. When you go to a job, you're selling yourself for that position. Everything is sales, and said sales should be taught in school. Well, everything is service, right? I don't know.
I think hospitality, because I feel like at the end of the day, that's service. That's just being a good person. You know what I mean? Like it's not just your skills on how to sell things or serve, or it's just being a good, well, I think in Bermuda, I say hospitality. Financial literacy is so important. So important. And I don't mean just learning to save, as someone had said, just knowing your finances, what you can save, what you can invest, what investments are, you know what I mean? Like those sorts of things. It's so important. I remember, I guess back in the day, I went to BHS, and unfortunately we didn't learn Bermuda history.
What did you learn?
We were doing our GCSE courses, right? So it was like a lot of like British and world history. It was never a foundation of Bermuda history. And then at Berkeley, when people were like, "Oh, we take civics," I was like, "What is that?" We didn't do it. So I think from every school, it should be there should be a course for every school, private, public, basics of Bermuda history. That's important as well. What else?
I think I agree. I think that should be, and again, I don't know if public, like the government, can make something mandatory in private schools, but I think there should probably be an agreement across the lines that certain courses should be mandatory. Let's go to the audience. What are your thoughts, folks? What non-traditional courses do you believe should be mandatory in schools? You want to take that, Rashida Godwin? Because
Anthropology.
What's that?
Like history, anthropology.
That's the anthropologist, like
ancestors.
That's what I thought. Okay, cool. Because when I say it, I'm like just talking about, like, when I see anthropology, I'm thinking going back to like Egypt and stuff like that.
No, maybe we're going back to like in Bermuda, our history in Bermuda, Sally Bassett and that sort of stuff.
How many people knew about Sally Bassett before the statue? I guarantee you not many didn't. Earth Sciences says Traveling Trotty. Another one that says personal finance. Michelle White says a course on how to interact with businesses as a provider and as consumer. Networking, says Traveling Trotty. Networking.
Yeah.
I think networking and sales goes hand in hand. As well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Charles H. Jefferson II says I'm not sure if this is a subject, but acceptance and tolerance of views, opinions, and people. Well, with the nonsense I saw last week, it's funny how the most so-called tolerant have become the intolerant of those they don't agree with. It's fascinating to me how things have changed in Bermuda in that regard, and almost painting everyone who you disagree with or disagrees with you as vile, bigoted, and all of this, when nothing could be further from the truth. But I agree. I think it's more of, understanding as well, and respecting people's rights to feel the way they do, especially if they're not causing harm to people physically, mentally, or emotionally. So I got you. But Ebony Souza Sancha.
Gardening and edible wild plants, mindfulness and finances 101.
Yeah.
The edible and wild plants, like since COVID, when I tell you I have been so intrigued. I know Connie Frith, is that her name? She has a book about like all the wild plants in Bermuda. And there's so many. I can walk down to the beach and I'm like, I've seen this in this book. You can eat it. You can, I think that's a good one.
Okay.
Sometimes we don't know about all the things around us that we can actually use.
Yeah. Rosalind Famous says non-traditional course, empathy.
Empathy.
I like that.
Summersville is big on empathy.
I actually like that. And I know people say, oh, you're creating soft children. No. I don't think there's anything soft about being respectful and understanding and actually having feelings, right? Maybe it would have helped me a bit. I might care about what people say a bit more. And I'm being serious.
I don't think you should ever care about what people say. That puts you in a hard, like mentally, that puts you in a hard space. You should never really care.
No, I mean in a respect, like not all criticism's bad, right? And sometimes, I could just dismiss, like, you know what I'm saying? And I've learned, honestly, Sanj, I've learned over the years, like, to kind of listen to people and take constructive criticism. So no, I think I blocked it out because I felt like everyone in the past was just critical, like, oh, this person's never accomplished anything, but they have all the answers for us. You know what I'm saying? Traveling Trotty says, yes, the Minister of Education does have the power to require private schools to do certain things. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go through some more. Rashida Godwin and Ines Luby for you.
Rashida Godwin says, study of people's culture. So she was going back to anthropology.
Yeah, I was thinking, thank you, Tamara. I was thinking archaeology. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was. Did she just Jamal me? She certainly did. Miss Sleepy.
So Ines Sleepy says, bring back trade schools. Trade workers will always be needed. Electricians, plumbers, carpenters, etc. They are the backbone of the community. That's true. Do you know how hard it is for me to find a plumber and an electrician that is not busy?
I say this, and I probably said it on her before, but I don't want my daddy get excited or go crazy. But I say this respectfully. My uncles, carpenters, daddy an electrician, is I do wish I paid more attention when I was young. Honestly, it's one of those things where if something happens around the house, I'm no lie, y'all. If something happens to the refrigerator, the garage, anything, the cars, I go on YouTube and I figure it out.
Okay, I thought that's better than what I expected. I thought you were going to say you call somebody in.
No, I don't know. And honestly, 10 years ago, I would have, right? But no, I've taught myself, so especially during the pandemic where people just couldn't come out. No, folks, YouTube has been my best friend. But to Ines Luby's point, even as technology has changed, electricians, plumbers, carpenters, they're still in demand. And they've evolved with technology. You cannot eliminate. You know what they say, recession proof? These folks are almost recession proof. Public speaking, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I kind of feel like that is in schools. I mean, but I don't think it's mandatory. Like you have like the debate teams and debate. I was definitely a part of the debate team. I loved it, but I don't know if it's mandatory. But I think it's important that we are teaching our children how to speak.
Yeah.
You know,
Speak
how to
clearly.
present themselves.
Yeah, speak clearly. You don't want to be your children sounding like me, folks. Trust me.
I'm telling Maddox, my son Maddox, all the time. Open your mouth.
Yeah.
Open your mouth and talk.
Yeah. Sean DeShield says fintech and learning how to use AI. I was actually shocked. No one said this. No one said this on Instagram, or no one said it this morning until Sean DeShield. I was shocked because the first thing I thought when this question was posed is artificial intelligence. That was the first thing that came to mind. But thank you, Sean. I do agree. And so my answer to this question, real quickly, folks, my answer to what non-traditional courses should be mandatory, my answer is very simple. Whatever industry dictates, or whatever you believe can dictate industry. What I mean by that is industries may exist now that may require people in the next 10 years. And then you also have to be forward thinking and thinking, hold on, what industry doesn't exist that we can prepare our children for now that can create industry in another 15 or 20 years? Yeah, I think that's something. And let's just go wrap it up with Karen Simmons says, decades of not having trade subjects are not encouraged in school. Only certain demographics of the school population. I was an instructional leader and officer at the Ministry of Education. On that note, we're going to take a quick break and come back, wrap it up, share some exciting things with you guys when we come back, and give our final thoughts. Oh, Daily Play. Let's not forget. It's a good one. Yeah, it's a good one today.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
Alrighty, folks, if you appreciated today's conversation and discussion, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Remember, the love, like, and the sharing of the show cost you nothing but 5 seconds. But if you want to give financially, you can do that through a super chat. You can just give us a thanks, or you can join as a member of our YouTube channel or the TDH community. Thanks again to One Communications, Medical House, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Sancha, are you ready?
Let's go.
All right, it's a Who Said It. Quote, when times get tough, we don't give up. We get up. Former U.S. President. Can't give you full points for that.
Barack Obama?
Damn right I weren't going to make it that easy for you. Yes. Barack Obama said it, folks. When times get tough, we don't give up. We get up. He sure did. Let's wrap it up. Final thoughts, discussion. We had the conversation about the customer service, and then, we focused on non-traditional courses. What are your thoughts?
I feel like they kind of go hand in hand, right?
They do.
Yeah. So customer service in Bermuda, I don't know. I still want to hear people's feedback as to what the issues are. I mean, I've had some of the best customer service and I've had some of the worst, but they were definitely in different industries within Bermuda. As I said, I do think that we tend to be a lot more polite to visitors than we are to our fellow Bermudians. And times have changed. They have changed. We are now in a space where, as it was said, I think Michelle White said it, our grandparents and our parents, we've seen the struggle that they've been through and how they were treated, and we don't want that for ourselves. But it's ways for us to operate around it and still be pleasant so that we're giving good customer service. And training is mandatory. It's mandatory. And we also need to take responsibility as the customer. Those lists on Facebook where we go bashing businesses, it's not going to help. Your best bet is to give that business a call, say the experience that you had so that they can rectify it and give the training that's necessary. As far as what should be taught in schools, financial literacy, as I said, I feel like it's on the top of the list. It's very, very important. But as you said, like the tradesmen, they're dying out, and it's because the trade schools died out years ago. I remember, my dad went to, what was it? Can't remember. Robert
Bermuda
Croft, whatever. Say that again.
Was it Bermuda Technical Institute?
I can't remember, but it was specifically for that. And a lot of our Black males, they're the ones that aren't going to make it to college and university, and they can start their businesses by being handy if they're taught these skills. So
yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with everything he said as far as customer service. I want to go to Michelle White because she said customer service training needs to be ongoing and consistent. Can't do it every 5 years. I agree. We have these courses people need to take to update their skills in terms of technology and different areas. I think the customer experience changes over the years, right? So I definitely think it needs to be ongoing. I do believe that no matter where you are, there's going to be challenges. I do believe that Bermuda may have a customer service challenge. Things have changed. And I think we've touched on it time and time again that, if we can get through that service isn't servitude, then that's one problem that we've eliminated. Some people, to them, it's just a job. And as long as it's just a job, they're here for the paycheck, not for a good time, not to do the best at their ability. The problem is, if they could find another job, they wouldn't be doing that. All right. So I believe we can improve customer service training in a variety of ways, but training and understanding and truthfully paying people right, treating people well, it all comes hand in hand. And the customer also has a responsibility to treat those people well. As far as courses, I believe there are a number of courses. I think there's no wrong answers with this. Everything that people said, from empathy to listening to AI to financial literacy, right? I think every last one of these courses can be added. Every last one of those courses could be helpful, not just for the individual, but the country. And my hope is that we can get to a space where our education is building a better Bermuda, and not just public, private, all of it. Sanchi, you've got some daily inspiration for us?
I do. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. And that's Steve Jobs.
Man, go ahead.
Hit him, huh?
That does it ever. Just want to say a big thank you to Ines Luby again. Appreciate you. He says, TDH, keep doing what you're doing. You guys doing a great job. Thank you. Honestly, we appreciate the contribution. Thank you. Everyone who continues to contribute. We really, really do appreciate you all. We have a good week coming up. We've got some Bermudian entrepreneurs coming on this week. And folks in the audience, if you're an entrepreneur, you know an entrepreneur, if you know people who may make great guests for this show, please reach out. Let us know. We'd love to share our platform with as many Bermudians as possible, because with you, we believe our community becomes a better place. So we are going to be doing some fun things over the next 2 weeks in Bermuda. So we want you to be involved. Just register for the TDH community. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what more to say. Register, find out what we've got in store. Come out, let us reward you, and let's reward our island. We're going to be doing some things. Again, an email might go out today. If you haven't already, just subscribe. That's free. Subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. And also, one more thing. I said, you know what? There's another show tomorrow. There you go. See it tomorrow. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, honestly, we really do appreciate you. We love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sandra Durham. I'm Jamel Hartman. My friends, please do make sure you love, like, and share these conversations. Make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.